Alright, welcome to the camper. I have made a lot of changes to this interior of the build, and I'm so stoked to share it with you guys. I'm at a beautiful location here in southwest Utah, overlooking some canyons and mountains. I am absolutely beyond happy to be here. We're going to have a nice meal tonight. I'm going to show the whole cooking process. I'm going to cover a few topics of what I have changed, and we're just going to get right into it. So I did set up a reclaimed barnwood countertop kitchen workstation setup. I do have a couch that converts into a bed using a slat bed design, and I'm really just loving how cozy this whole interior is becoming. I do have some temporary Walmart plastic drawers set up here. They are secured to the floor, and here is my Iceco Fridge on a slider. I'm really enjoying this water tank as it is the perfect size. I have set it up with a quick disconnect barb fitting that makes it really easy to interchange with a secondary water tank. Over here I have a little trash can I got at Target, and honestly having a trash can in the camper is a game changer. So I do have a sink set up. Now, right now I do have the water draining through the truck bed onto the ground, and don't worry, it is biodegradable soap and only water going through it, so I don't feel bad about that basically just draining to the ground. So this is my temporary solution for drawers. As I mentioned, I got these at Walmart, and currently I have this piece of rope basically just tied up to some screws, some eyelet screws, and that secures these drawers as I drive. I do have a variety of cooking equipment and some dry goods, some canned goods in here. So far I find it to be very helpful. Now let's get some hot tea made. It's a beautiful afternoon and I want to just basically take it in and enjoy some hot tea. Having a backdrop like this to cook in my camper is pretty much a dream come true. I have been building this camper for the past about 8 to 9 months. Before this I had a pop-top camper and that was wonderful, but to be able to set up this workstation kitchen in my camper that I built from scratch by my own hands, my own design, everything is a wonderful experience. Now, for anybody wondering, this camper, basically the exterior of it weighs about 275 to 300 pounds. So that is all of the aluminum square tube construction, the aluminum sheet metal, and some of the hatches and doors. So that is basically the makeup of it as a shell. Now I have built it out inside, as you can see, and I have not weighed the interior portion of the build, but my best guess is another couple hundred pounds. So all in, my guess is about somewhere between 500 and 600 pounds. And to be honest, for a camper of this size and all of the features that come with it, I think that is a very respectable number. I am very pleased with how this camper all came together and how much purpose and function it really serves. will show you guys more of the bed later as it gets time to make it. For now, I'm gonna get a few things out for dinner. So I'm going to start just by cleaning off the counter. I really like this epoxy glaze coat because it allows me to clean easily with a rag. Before, I was struggling to figure out what I was going to do with the barnwood. It had a pretty rough texture, but I didn't want to sand it down because it would remove some of the really nice stain and oil and everything on it. I did have a couple areas where there was actual oil on the wood and the epoxy didn't stick super well, but that's okay. I'd rather keep that original charm to it. Absolutely love having a trash can in the camper. It is a game changer. So we have quite the meal tonight. We're gonna do beef and broccoli with rice. And I'm gonna go ahead and start on the rice because that takes a minute. I am trying a new method of cooking it. So I have this ceramic rice pot. It's called a donabe. I have used this before twice with a solid fuel tablet. However, today I'm gonna be using a new stove. This one's really neat. It's basically a multi-fuel stove. And I'm gonna hook it up to a butane bottle, and I have a little rack that I'm gonna place over it and place this on top. I thought it might be a little better than burning the solid fuel in here. I do have really good ventilation with the side window, back window, and the vent fan. However, I thought this would be a little better. Who knows? So let's get this stove set up. Pretty nice collapsible design. Even has legs that come out. Now I did test this out. I believe I could use it right on here, but I am going to be using this pretty neat trivet that I got on Etsy. So I'm going to go ahead and set up the rice on the left. A nice flat spot. Get the stove set up. Now I am just using these simple butane fuel cans. I really like them with my portable stove, and there is an adapter for this multi-fuel stove to work with this can. You can use the green propane bottle, I believe, but I have these on hand, so we'll give that a try. I tried to look online to see if you're supposed to run the butane bottle on its side or vertical, but I couldn't find too much info. So my portable stove, the butane can is on its side. However, this doesn't really have a good method of holding it. So I'm going to try it vertical. You can let me know down in the comments if you have some advice. We'll see if it works. Now I have this stand that I have not used before, but should go just like this. I got it just to be a little more stable than just the stove itself. Now the stove actually seems pretty good, but for safety, I'm gonna use this. That is very solid. I think that'll work. As long as I have the stove down on low, I should be fine. The solid fuel tablet is a pretty good blue flame, so we'll keep it on low and see how that goes. So let's prepare the donabe. I have a insert paper, some rice, and water, so let's get it filled up. About this. Now, I have been eyeballing the water. This time I'm going to use the cup and go just a little higher than where the rice was. and we'll see how that goes. The first time I used this rice cooker, I had a little less water, and it turned out to be a little crispy on the bottom, which is actually kind of nice. I think it's one of the styles of using a ceramic rice pot like this. The second time I had a little more water, and it was fluffy and really nice texture. So let's see how this one goes. All right, so I'm gonna fire up the stove and then place this on top. I'm gonna have to dial in the setting on the stove. All right, so I have it on a pretty low heat right now. I will mess with it. I'm going to keep an eye on this exit hole and see if there's any water boiling out or steam developing. I really don't want to cook this too fast. I want to imitate that solid fuel tablet as a slow burn. So let's give this a try. Now, just a reminder, I do have the vent fan going, the back window open, and the side window open, so I do have pretty good ventilation going on. It is a windy day, so the windows aren't fully open, but I can feel a nice cross breeze going on. All right, the rest of the meal is going to be in one fry pan. And I'm going to be using this portable butane stove. Alright, so I'm just going to rough chop this onion and broccoli, get it in the pan with the meat. I'm going to go ahead and fire the stove up. Turn it to a fairly low heat. It looks like the rice is doing well. I think on a very low heat is the right amount. We'll keep an eye on it and see how the steam develops and see if any water comes out. So let's get some of the meat in here and we can season it up. One of the things I really enjoyed working on this week is I 3D printed a spice holder. I love to work on design projects. I work with AutoCAD for my day job, and I love to tinker with 3D modeling, 3D printing, all of that realm of knowledge. And being able to print things for my camper is a really fun way to utilize that skill set and enjoyment. One other thing that I 3D printed are these curtain hooks. I'll show more about the curtains later when I get ready for bed. So let's get the meat in, season it up. One of the biggest challenges with building an interior in a small space is getting everything to flow and function together. I went through several interior iterations where I had different desk layout, bed setup, different dimensions of the framing, and it really just took 4 or 5 iterations to really realize and learn what worked and what didn't work. I'm very happy with the setup so far. This is one of the first weekends out using it, so we'll see how it goes with the trip, but so far I'm really happy with basically how everything flows and functions. Alright, the rice is looking nice. Let's get some seasoning on the veggies and meat. some garlic powder, salt and pepper. Well, that was a new one for me. The GoPro said it was overheated, so I put you guys in the Iceco Fridge for a couple minutes. The broccoli, beef, and onion are still cooking. I think it's about time to sauce it. Nothing precise here. Gonna do roughly 2 large spoonfuls and 3 spoonfuls of soy. Just a guy cooking in his truck camper, view of the mountains. This is one of those dream moments. I want to thank you guys for watching this. If you do like the content and you enjoy seeing me cook or information about the truck camper, please give it a like, a subscribe. If you do have any questions, let me know down in the comments. I'm happy to answer any questions. As you can tell, I do have a pretty big passion for cooking and building and outfitting the truck camper, so I'm happy to talk about it and share my thoughts. Rice is looking really nice. It is still very warm. I'm gonna wait to see how the texture is until I serve it. I did find this pretty slick insulated, I think it might be called a ramen bowl or just an insulated bowl, and I really like serving in a insulated bowl because when you're camping, typically it's cooler outside or you're outdoors. Now obviously I'm inside my truck camper right now and it's pretty moderate climate right here, but in an effort to not let your food get cold quick, I feel like an insulated bowl is a game changer. I'm only going to eat half of this, so I'm going to leave the seed in the other half, put this in the fridge. Alright, I think everything's done. So let's get the stove off and plate everything up. This looks wonderful. Some of the bottom is a little crispy, and I think that's one of the fun features of cooking with a donabe, is the bottom actually gets a little crispy. Just a bit different style. I'm going to go ahead and make cleaning up a little easier by wiping out the pan. Today will be the first time I will actually clean my dishes inside the camper, and I'm very excited for that. Alright, I'm going to set this out of the way. Let's go in with the avocado. Again, trash can, really nice. We can go ahead and top with the sriracha mayo. And the sriracha. One final thing I have is sesame seeds. Boy, does this look good. Let's dig in. Now I know it is a bit windy here. I won't do too much talking. I'm just going to be eating. Well, I've been out enjoying myself with the very peaceful view. The sun is slowly coming down. It's not too late. It is about 7:45. I think sunset is in the next 15-20 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this whole place cleaned up, and then here in a bit I will show you guys the bed setup. First time using this grill grate, and I really like it. I think you can actually use this over a fire, which would be pretty slick as well. Little small personal grill grate. I love how compact this stove folds down into. So I don't have all my storage fully dialed in yet, but I do have a few 3D printed cubbies and storage racks. I really like them so far. So this is an 8-spice holder, and then I have another 3D printed cubby that have my silverware, you know, random miscellaneous things. Of course I do have the drawers behind me, but not everything can fit there. I'm still kind of feeling out the drawer storage system. Eventually I do want to wall mount a few things. For instance, the frying pan could be really cool to wall mount, or paper towel holder, dish towel, stuff like that. So we'll see what I can get creative with the 3D printer and different types of command hooks and you know, screw things into the wall. That's one reason that I did a plywood subwall, is I really wanted the ability to fasten things to the wall. So I am using this Dr. Bronner's Hemp Lavender Pure Castile soap. It is a biodegradable soap. That's why I'm draining it straight to the ground. I personally feel like that is okay with water and soap. I did scrap everything, so there's not going to be a lot of particles of food going down the drain or anything like that. So this sink is positioned quite far left, and the bed section does come to the side, but with a little bit of a lean, it's not too bad. Honestly, just having running water in the camper is a big deal. If it's not the most ideal location, that's okay. You know, I'll make it work. One very important thing to remember about this soap is a little bit goes a long way. So only a drop or two. Wow, I never thought the act of doing dishes in my camper would be satisfying, but this is really cool. I'm trying to conserve my water as best as I can. I have two 2.5 gallon water jugs. I've only used part of the first one so far. We'll see how long it lasts. This little water dispenser is too cool. It does have an on-off, and it also has a 600 milliliter button, which is nice for filling up glasses or being able to just click that and know a certain amount of water is coming out. And just like that, dishes are clean. I'll let it air dry a little bit and then get everything packed up. Super cool. I do like this rubber mat. It is technically a wine glass mat. Pretty cool little drying mat. Alright, I'm going to show you how I convert this couch to a bed, and I'll show you a little more about the curtains. So first of all, curtains are very simple. To use this rod up top, and then I 3D printed this curtain hook that goes right into the wall. The window is open still, so it's gonna be breezy, but I absolutely love that. It's the perfect size. This back window has a built-in screen and blackout curtain. Keep in mind these cushions are not covered right now. Sheet over it right now, but I will be getting some custom cushion covers. Basically extend out this middle slat, and then you have these two back pieces of foam. Which make up the full bed. Alright, just like that, the bed is made. With that note, I will cut the lights and see you guys in the morning.